Okay, we're taking a quick look at a couple things here on the American Realty and Development site, and I need to get rid of these other things that do not apply. Featured listings is what you want, and so then properties, you don't need to be messing with that. That was an older one that we were doing. But when you come in here, you had a featured listing. Most of it should be fairly intuitive, I think. So you have a title for it, and that is actually used, so you want to make sure that it's actually something that shows up decently. You want to make sure the title works for what you're doing. So a new property, and then when we have our overview text here, this is just the stuff that goes on the overview page here. And so then the some text just to introduce the property, and then the highlights. It's set up to, you can do it however you want ultimately, but doing bullet points is what it's set up to by default, and it has highlights text here. You don't need to type that in, you just type in the bullet points of what you want, a word or two, another word, and we have the brochure link. And so if you have a brochure for it, then you link it to a file, and then on the broker it's set up already with these ones, but then as you add new ones, then you can have some other broker and then add new phone numbers. And once you save this one, that will be available just to click the radio button in the future instead of having to enter it in manually every time. For spaces, then I really didn't know exactly what it was you were trying to have in that area there, and so right now it's just a what you see is what you get text box here. And then if you need that to be something more specific, let us know though. And for the details, these are things that make sense. It's just a text box. You can put in whatever sort of content you want within that place, although you don't want it to be super long. It won't work well in some other places. Building size, lot size, year built, those are all just text boxes. Property type, we have retail only in there right now. I didn't know other property types you have. Same thing as the other one where you can add in the new one, and then in the future it will always be available. Photos, then you add photos to a gallery. So you just pick out all the photos that you want. Right now it is using the caption, and so then you can change that to be something that is desirable for you. Type in the address and it can find it for you. It doesn't have to be that that you have the entire address. You can just start typing in, so like Taco Bell, Jefferson City, Missouri, and then I can click it there, and then now we got it. And then I have this map image thing here. It's not actually being used right now. I wasn't quite sure. You'd mentioned a map image. Then to me it seemed like it made more sense just to have an actual interactive map there on the page so people could engage with it. But let me know if you just want to use the map image instead. Document list. Right now it's just what you see is what you get. Editor here, and then you can do it with bullet points like we did before, but you can type in whatever else you want to do in that spot as well. And then if we preview this, then it's looking mostly good, and I did not fill in most of those details though, and I need to make sure all those are set up to be if you don't enter anything, it doesn't show up in that spot. But looks like we have a mistake on the property type one. All the other ones are set that way, but you can set a featured image then as well, and then that will be what shows up there at the top. And now it's all basically as it should be. And when you publish this, then it will show up automatically. If you go to properties here, then it will show up automatically here, and one of them's in Springfield and the other two are up here. So and it automatically will zoom into the proper level depending on where things are. And now we have these two different ones. We have a new property, we have Wildwood Crossing here that we put in there previously, and it looks like I got a little bit of change to make there. So that should be most everything though on that. If you needed to make changes to the boxes on the home page, and those are property boxes, and they're pretty intuitive. You just have a title just for your reference, not for anything else. This is header 2 for the things that show up in the title area there. If you make it bold, then it'll make it big and bold, and then the regular part is the smaller text. There's a map link here that goes then, it's not really a map link now because both of those things link to the same place since the map and the listings are on the same page for those. We have the link to go to the right place on that page, and then you can change out what the image is for the background if you want to. And I think that should cover most things. If you end up having anything else you need, let us know. It shouldn't be too hard to edit in. And I'm going to fix up a couple of these little small problems here. And then you can let me know when a good time is to meet, and we'll talk through the other styling issues that that David mentioned on my behalf previously. So that should cover it. Let us know if you have questions, and we'll be happy to